If you are a person that worries so much about what people think of you, you are not gonna see things with a positive outlook. You're always gonna see a negative thing behind it because you're too worried about what other people think. Hello everyone, this is Inspired Tuesday number 63 because your team at Icon Dental Center believes that starting the day motivated and inspired sets up the rest of the day for success. We bring quotes to our morning huddles and it has been so positive to our team that we decided to share it with you and hope to motivate and inspire you as well. Today the topic is keep things in perspective. Are you one of those people that the elevator gets delayed and you go like, what's going on? I can't believe it, it's every time. And then you get stuck in traffic. Oh, this is awful. It happens every day, even though you get used to it. Or someone doesn't answer the phone. See, they never pick up the phone. Why always me? They must, okay. If those little problems are really getting you overwhelmed, it's time to get things in perspective. I have in here 3 tips to help our team and you to keep things in perspective. I'll talk about 2 tips, bring 1 quote, and then 1 more tip. Enjoy. Tip number 1 is stop comparing yourself to others. Comparing yourself to others at work, with your life, with your looks, and with your talent is unfair. Because we all have lived a different life, so that helped shape us. So that's why we're different. We have a different background. You know, we're all unique our own ways, but we have different education, different history, different background. But it's all good. I'll give an example. At work, we have a great team of hygienists, extremely high standards. You cannot find a buildup after they clean a tooth or anything. It's sparkling. But we have one hygienist that does really good with this one age group, and another one that does so good with new patients, and another one, like, it's all good. They, you know, there's no need to compare themselves to each other. They don't do that. We don't do that. It's not like, hey, why don't I get a new patient on my schedule? Why it's only her? Why it's only her? They understand that it's okay. We have a different background, a different way to deal with things, so we are different. It's fine, you know. And another example is, let's suppose we have a second language in a team. It's fine. Sometimes the English, or, you know, it's not maybe as good as a native speaking person. It doesn't matter, because, you know, a second language person has the advantage to be multicultural. They know how to read people better, easier sometimes too. Like, it's just because you had to deal with so many different cultures that it became part of what you do is to read through people and understand, and especially understand people that are struggling more because you've been there yourself. So anyway, we are all unique our own ways. And comparing yourself to another person is totally a losing game, and it's not gonna help you keep your life in perspective. So don't do that. Tip number 2 is identify your feelings. This tip here is more about self-awareness. It's how you feel about yourself instead of the fear of how other people feel about you. It's like this. If you are a person that worries so much about what people think of you, you are not gonna see things with a positive outlook. You're always gonna see a negative thing behind it because you're too worried about what other people think. You know, and you sometimes are gonna confuse your feeling with the other person feeling. I'll give you an example that was happening at work, and we talked a little bit and it became more clear, because clarity is really the key. So a friend of was like interpreting things sometimes a little bit different. Like, a patient called and is upset, broke a front tooth, and is like, oh, this person is very upset. And I'm thinking the person's upset at us or at her. And then the person comes in, I'm like, that person was not upset at anyone in here. This person is just upset because you broke a front tooth. I mean, if someone breaks a front tooth, they're not gonna call you and say, yeah, that's a great day today. Like, you know what, I'm so a person is not gonna be happy. So they're gonna, you know, react in a different way. But it's very important to take away your feeling from that. It's not you worry so much about you and what people think of you that you're forgetting that people also have their own feelings and they react to that. It's not always about you. So make sure to identify your feeling and separate that. And if you also, even after you separate it, you're still coming with a negative feeling, there's another thing in here that you can do to keep things in perspective. You are one of the more than 7 billion people on earth. So you are not alone. And if you think the universe turned around you and everybody's mad at you, that's not how it works. People are not usually that worried about you and not always mad at you. They have their own feelings in their own life. And the second thing is, if you think you're so special, that your problem is so big, let me tell you, out of the 7 billion people, someone is having a lot of problem, a lot of people having a lot of problem, and many with problems way worse than you. They'll help you keep your life in perspective, to know that you're not alone at all. There's 7 billion people out there struggling, to make things work as well. So keep things in perspective by identifying your feeling and separating it from what other people think of you. The quote today is from Ken Blanchard. Don't get a big head when you win or get too down in the dumps when you lose. Keep things in perspective. Success is not forever and failure isn't fatal. Tip number 3 is watch your narrative. This tip in here is the king of all tips. Your narrative is the story you tell yourself about yourself, and you will become what you think of. It's the law of cause and effect. I did not come up with that. So all these thoughts you have will attract things that will manifest in the physical reality. That's how it is. Like, you're going to be attracting the things that you're thinking about, and that's who you're going to become. I'll give in here an amazing example, literally, that happened. We hired this very talented team member that is very smart, but she had no dental experience. And so it gets a little tricky, because to get that confidence when you don't have any experience, you have to gain a lot of skills so you can feel that confidence. So in the beginning, she's training. This is how you pull insurance. This is how you present a plan. This is how you put a treatment plan together and all these things. And of course, in the beginning, she's double checking, triple checking every time you pull insurance to make sure it's coming in right, because she doesn't have experience. But then it goes a month and I'm noticing how those are getting so good. But I'm like, she's still at that same level of not more productivity and not getting faster. And I was like, let me think a little bit of what's going on. And then I noticed that, of course, just like in the beginning, she was still double checking and triple checking where that she wouldn't be doing it right. Then I asked her, okay, I've noticed that you're still double checking. And what is it? She's like, I don't want to get this wrong. And I'm like, did you double check everything today? Yes. Was anything in the double check different? No, it was all right, Izzy. So at this point, if you keep telling yourself you need to double check because you're not good enough at pulling it, or you don't know this enough, or you never learned this enough, you're never going to go to the next level. Because if you have 15 insurance to pull, doing it 2 or 3 times is times 2 and times 3. If you're that busy overdoing the same thing, you can never go and learn the other things or be faster in other things. So it's literally a mindset. And just by discussing that and the person becoming self-aware of, yes, I need to be more confident, and I'm only going to step into that once I believe. And totally a game change. A game change from that moment. And yes, the person was already 16. All she needed is a little bit of like, what is it that I need to change so I can go to the next level? Amazing tip. So remember, this is really a big, important tip. The story you tell yourself about yourself is going to keep things in perspective and going to make you understand where you are and how you can get better, because it's that story that you're telling yourself that's going to change what you become. So I hope you guys like the topic and the quote today, and I love to hear from you. What is the story you tell yourself about yourself that changed, that was a game change? Leave me comments below and I'd love to connect with you. And also, if you haven't done so, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and so you can get all those weekly videos, and also like our page on Facebook and Instagram at Icon Dental Center. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.